What's up, everyone? Dave the Data Dude. Today we're going to be talking about our intro to arithmetic operators. We're going to be talking about a shorthand way of just adding, subtracting, and a couple other basic arithmetic options that you have available to you using the Pandas data frame. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to do import pandas as PD. Data frame equals our Pokemon CSV, and we're going to just look at our CSV, make sure it looks correct, and it does. So let's just limit it only to the top 5 by using df.head. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. We're going to do a real simple look at some of these arithmetic operators. So we're going to just copy and paste this down here so that you can see what the difference between the updates that we are making are. So we're just going to do df.hp for the data frame column. So we're going to update the data frame column HP because it already exists. So df again hp dot multiply by 2. Got our data frame. And you can see here that it is 90, so just multiplied it by 2. Okay, real simple, real easy. There's a couple options that you have available when you're doing this. So we're going to walk through each one. Another one we have is divide by 2. Takes the HP and divides it by 2. Then of course we have add. It's going to add 2 to it. 2 to HP, and then finally for the basic ones we have subtract, right? So these are all the basic ones that you would use probably in your everyday, day-to-day, kind of just simple math problems. Another 2 that you have available to you are the POW, which is for the power to the power of 2. So now you can see that it just basically says 45 times 45, 60 times 60, 80 times 80, and so forth and so on. And that's just a shorthand way of doing it, so you can do it that way as well. And the last one we have, available to us is something called MODD. So essentially what this is it will look at your HP column and divide it by whatever number you give it. And whatever the remainder is what you get for your value. So if we did 2, for example, essentially what we're saying is 0 if it's an even number, 1 if it's a odd number. So we can see here it's 1 because 45 divided by 2 goes into 45 up to 44, and then it has 1 as a remainder. Okay, and then this is 0 because 60 divided by 2 has 0 remainder, so forth and so on. Okay, so those are all of your arithmetic functions that you can use. And you can use them in conjunction with each other. So you could say df, survives maybe equals. Let's say that it was the defense sub attack, right? Df attack, right? So this will essentially tell us, would the Pokemon survive its own attack kind of deal. So it's attack and defense, or would, sorry, not if it would survive. It would be if the defense is able to out sustain the attack. So in this one you can see, okay, attack is 9 more than the defense, so there would be 9 health lost. And you can do more math on that. You can keep going and say, if it's, we're not going to get into some of these things now, but you could say, for example, now that we know that it's survived, or we can even rename this as damage, right? We can see that, okay, there's 9 damage here. We could then take that value and subtract that from HP as long as it is less than 0. And these are the kind of things that you can see that as we're continuing through our classes that you're going to be able to start using them together. It's important to note that, this alone is not going to be super helpful in this particular situation. Having this shorthand is not going to necessarily be a super time saver for you when you're trying to write your own data. It's important to know how these things can work so that way when you're writing your own code and working with your own data, that you have these options available to you, because there will be all sorts of craziness that you will come across when you are coding, and you will never see the same thing twice. Never say never, but you would generally never see the same thing twice. So it's important to know just all the options that you have available, and I encourage you to write some of these options down so that you can use them later in different codes and plug and play so that you can have a more robust and streamlined code without having to do a lot of research and trying to figure out how you can plug these pieces together. So if you have any questions, let us know in the comments so that we can help you address them. Let us know if there's anything you'd like to see so that we can keep bringing you quality content that you enjoy. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.